Hi, I'm Miracle. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. My parents had high hopes. Honestly, I think I've lived up to the name pretty well. I'm 52, CEO of a mid-sized tech consulting firm, and the proud mother of one amazing son, Marcus. But this story isn't about my corporate success. It's about what happens when people judge a book by their cover. Marcus had been dating Elena for about 2 years. Sweet girl, or so I thought. When he told me they were getting engaged, I was thrilled. Mom, I need to ask you something, Marcus said one evening, sitting across from me in my home office. What's up, honey? Would you mind dressing down a bit for the engagement party? Elena's parents are, well, they're kind of traditional. Her mom especially can be judgmental about people who show off their money. I raised an eyebrow. Dressing down? Just, casual. Nothing designer. They don't know about your company yet. And I thought maybe we'd tell them after the party. Once they get to know you first. Something felt off. But I love my son. Sure, sweetheart. Whatever makes you comfortable. Thanks, Mom. You're the best. I really think they'll love you once they get past the first impressions. And if they don't? They will. Trust me. The engagement party was held at a nice restaurant. Nothing too fancy, which should have been my first clue. I wore simple jeans, a plain blouse, and minimal jewelry. My Mercedes stayed in the garage. I drove my old Honda instead. Elena's mother, Patricia, greeted me at the door. She was dripping in diamonds, designer dress, the works. Oh, she said, looking me up and down. You must be Marcus's mother. How quaint. Nice to meet you too, I replied, extending my hand. She gave it a limp shake. Elena's father, Richard, wasn't much better. So, Miracle, what do you do for work? I'm in tech consulting, I said simply. Patricia laughed. Actually laughed. Oh, so you're like a secretary or something? How sweet that Marcus found someone from humble beginnings. Really shows his character. I bit my tongue. Something like that. Throughout the dinner, it got worse. Patricia kept making little comments. Elena, darling, make sure Marcus knows we'll be covering most of the wedding costs. We wouldn't want his poor mother to strain herself. Richard and I believe in marrying within your social class. But love conquers all, doesn't it? Miracle, dear, if you need help with your outfit for the wedding, I know some affordable places. Target has some surprisingly decent options these days. Marcus looked uncomfortable but said nothing. Elena just smiled. Finally, Elena's younger sister, Chelsea, who'd been quiet all night, pulled me aside. I'm sorry about my mom, she whispered. She's being awful. Why didn't Marcus tell them about me? I asked. Chelsea bit her lip. Elena told him not to. She said she wanted to see if you were worthy of being her mother-in-law. Mom's been running a background check on you. What? Mom works as VP of operations at some tech company. She thinks she's hot stuff. She's been bragging all week about how she was going to put you in your place if you acted above your station. My blood ran cold. What company? Something called Frontier Tech Solutions. She just started there 6 months ago. I almost laughed. Frontier Tech Solutions. My company. The one I'd founded 15 years ago. The one where I'd been so busy with a merger that I'd let my HR director handle the executive hiring. Chelsea, I said carefully, do me a favor. Don't mention this conversation to anyone. She nodded, looking worried. The next morning, I called my HR director, James. James, I need you to pull the file on Patricia Vanderbilt, VP of Operations. Sure thing, Miss Chen. May I ask why? Just curious about one of our executives. Send me everything. Her employment contract, performance reviews, complaints. 20 minutes later, my inbox pinged. I opened the file and started reading. Patricia had been hired 6 months ago. Her resume was impressive, but her performance reviews were concerning. 3 complaints from subordinates about hostile work environment. 2 warnings about inappropriate comments regarding colleagues' appearances and economic backgrounds. I picked up my phone and called my lawyer, David. Miracle, what can I do for you? David, I need advice. If an executive at my company has been harassing someone outside of work, and I have documentation of similar behavior inside the company, what are my options? Well, if you can prove a pattern of discriminatory behavior, especially from someone in a leadership position, you'd have grounds for termination. But you'd need solid evidence and witnesses. What if I have recordings? Even better, document everything. Get witness statements, build an airtight case. I'll get back to you. Next, I called Chelsea. Hi, it's Miracle. I know this is unusual, but would you be willing to meet with me? Alone? We met at a coffee shop an hour later. Chelsea looked nervous. Am I in trouble? She asked. No, sweetheart. But I need to ask you something important. Has your mother always been like this? The comments about people's money and status? Chelsea sighed. Always. She drove away my last boyfriend because his dad was a teacher. She told me I was dating down. When I got accepted to state school instead of an Ivy, she didn't talk to me for a month. Would you be willing to write down specific examples, dates, what she said? Why? I smiled. Let's just say I'm gathering information. And Chelsea? Your mother works for me. I own Frontier Tech Solutions. Her eyes went wide. Oh my God. Now, I need another favor. I want to talk to some of her colleagues. Can you tell me anyone at the company who might know about her behavior? That afternoon, I had 3 conference calls. First with Marcus, who was horrified when I told him what had been happening. Mom, I'm so sorry. Elena said her parents were traditional, but I didn't think... Marcus, did Elena know about these comments? Silence. Then, she laughed at a few of them. I thought she was just nervous. We'll talk about this later. My second call was with 2 of Patricia's subordinates who'd filed complaints. Miss Chen, thank you for finally listening, said Jennifer, a project manager. She called me trailer trash when I mentioned I grew up in a mobile home park. And she told me my degree from a public university was adorable, added Tom. She's made my life hell for 6 months. Document everything. Send it to HR. This ends now. My third call was with Elena herself. Elena, we need to talk about your mother's behavior at the party. Oh, Miracle, don't take it personally. Mom's just protective. She'll warm up to you. She called me poor. Multiple times. She mocked my clothes. Elena laughed. Actually laughed. Well, you did dress pretty frumpy. Mom has standards. Maybe try a little harder next time? There won't be a next time. Not like this. What's that supposed to mean? It means your mother works for me, Elena. I own the company she's so proud of working for. Dead silence. You're lying. Monday morning, we'll see who's lying. And, Elena, think very carefully about whether you want to be part of a family that treats people this way. Monday morning came. I dressed in my usual work attire. Tailored suit, heels, the works. I arrived at the office early and waited. Patricia strutted in at 9:30, half an hour late. Morning, everyone, she announced to the office floor. Some of us had a fabulous weekend. My daughter's engagement party was absolutely divine. I stepped out of my office. Patricia, my office, now. She turned, clearly not recognizing me at first. Then her face went pale. Miracle? That would be Miss Chen to you. My office. The entire floor went silent. Patricia followed me, her heels clicking nervously. Once inside, I closed the door. Sit down. What is this about? Why are you here? I work here, Patricia. I've worked here for 15 years, since I founded the company. Her mouth opened and closed like a fish. You're the CEO? Surprised? Or did you think humble people like me couldn't possibly run a successful business? I don't know what you're talking about. Cut it. Let's review your weekend, shall we? You called me poor. You mocked my clothes. You offered to pay for my son's wedding because you assumed I couldn't afford it. You laughed at my career and made assumptions about my social class. All while being an executive at my company. Patricia's face turned red, then white. That was a misunderstanding. Marcus said you worked in tech consulting. I do. I consult for our tech clients, as the CEO. Okay, look, maybe I came on a little strong, but it was just party talk. Just party talk? Like when you called Jennifer trailer trash? Or told Tom his public university degree was adorable? Those complaints in your file aren't party talk, Patricia. That's a pattern of discriminatory behavior. She stood up. Now wait just a minute. You can't use personal matters in professional decisions. Sit down. My voice cracked like a whip. This isn't personal. This is about an executive at my company demonstrating the same pattern of classist, discriminatory behavior in her personal life that she's shown in the workplace. It's about someone in leadership who creates hostile environments wherever she goes. This is ridiculous. I'm calling my lawyer. Go ahead. While you're at it, let me call mine. David, could you join us, please? My lawyer entered from the adjacent conference room where he'd been waiting. Patricia Vanderbilt, this is David Chen, my attorney and my brother. David, Miss Vanderbilt was just threatening legal action. David smiled coldly. Miss Vanderbilt, I have documentation of 3 separate complaints against you. Witness, statements from this weekend's party and recordings of conversations where you disparaged employees based on their economic background. I'd rethink that lawyer call if I were you. Patricia's confidence crumbled. Recordings? That's illegal. Not in this state, David replied. Single-party consent. My sister had every right to record her own conversations. She turned to me, tears forming. Please, Miracle. I'm sorry, okay? I was wrong. I'll apologize to everyone. Just don't fire me. I need this job. Now you're sorry? When your job is on the line? Not when you were humiliating me in front of my son? I made a mistake. People deserve second chances. Like you gave Jennifer a second chance after one comment about her childhood? Like you gave Tom grace when he mentioned his school pride? You've shown exactly who you are, Patricia. But I can change. I swear I can change. Give me one chance to prove it. You've had 6 months here to prove it. You've had 52 years of life to prove it. Every day you chose to look down on people. Every day you chose cruelty over kindness. That's not fair. You don't understand the pressure I was under. Pressure? From what? Having to treat your employees with basic human dignity? Having to be polite to your future in-laws? Please, my reputation will be ruined. Like you tried to ruin mine with my son? With his fiancé? She collapsed into the chair, sobbing. I have bills. I have obligations. What am I supposed to do? I don't know, Patricia. But I know what you're not going to do. You're not going to continue making people feel small from a position of power in my company. 2 hours later, Patricia had been escorted from the building. Her termination was processed with cause, pattern of discriminatory behavior, violation of company values, and creating hostile work environments. No severance. James knocked on my door. Miss Chen, Jennifer and Tom wanted to thank you personally. I invited them in. Jennifer was crying. Thank you, she said. I've been so scared to come to work every day. You shouldn't have had to feel that way. I'm sorry I didn't catch this sooner. Tom shook my hand. She told me last week that people from inferior schools would never understand excellence. This means everything. You both deserved better. This company will do better. After they left, I called Marcus. Mom, Elena just called me. She's furious. She says you destroyed her mother's career over nothing. Is that what she thinks? Nothing? She wants me to choose. Her or you. My heart sank. Marcus, I can't make this choice for you. But I can tell you this. I didn't destroy your future mother-in-law's career. She did that herself through years of treating people as less than based on their money or background. I just finally held her accountable. Elena says her mom was joking, that you're being too sensitive. Do you really believe that? Long pause. No. I saw your face at that party, Mom. I should have said something. I'm sorry. What are you going to do? I think I need to really look at who I'm marrying. If she thinks that behavior is acceptable, what does that say about our future? 2 weeks later, Marcus called off the engagement. Elena tried to get her mother's job back, threatening lawsuits that went nowhere. Patricia tried calling me directly, begging for forgiveness. Miracle, please. I've learned my lesson. I'll change. Patricia, You had 52 years to learn not to judge people by their clothes or their background. You chose not to. That's on you, not me. But my career will recover if you actually change. But that's your work to do, not mine to fix. She tried sending Elena to plead her case, tried getting Richard to call in favors. I blocked them all. 6 months later, I ran into Chelsea at a charity event. She hugged me tight. "Thank you," she whispered. "Dad finally divorced Mom. Turns out he'd been miserable for years but stayed for us kids. He's dating a kindergarten teacher now, and he's happier than I've ever seen him." "How are you doing?" "Better. I'm at state school, studying social work. Mom doesn't talk to me, but honestly, I'm okay with that." "You're going to do amazing things, Chelsea. I'm proud of you." "That means a lot. More than you know." Marcus eventually started dating again. A brilliant engineer from a working-class family who my HR director introduced him to. They're taking it slow, and I couldn't be happier. As for Patricia, last I heard she's working in a much smaller company, in a non-management role. Maybe she learned something. Maybe she didn't. But she learned that treating people like they're beneath you has consequences. So here's my question for you. Have you ever been underestimated because of how you looked or where you came from? How did you handle it? Drop your story in the comments, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more real-life stories.